Those innocent children.
I can't believe that. I can't believe that. Holy shit. That's not. That can't believe that. I don't believe it.
He's
Even
turned into a
after.
monster.
Yeah.
That's what he is.
He'll do anything to like prove to his father. And he's not even doing
And his
it.
father doesn't care.
His father doesn't care. His father didn't ask him to do any of this.
No.
Either.
Oh my god. Oh.
I don't even.
I was really hoping that they had fled. Oh my gosh.
They said they didn't go to the village, too. They said they weren't going to go because they didn't want to put those people in danger. So they were going to go around. Unless they changed their mind, like, off camera. They're like, okay, let's go to the village now. But it seemed to me that they weren't going to go there. And they weren't there. They were somewhere else.
And the maester was there.
Maybe they found, like, the nuts and were able to catch their scent again. I don't know.
Those kids did not deserve that.
Like, that ending, like, I just forgot everything that happened because of that ending. Everything went out of my brain. There's so much stuff that happened in this episode. They focused a lot on Jon Snow the whole time. And it's crazy. That character must be very important, or what that character means for Jon Snow. Like,
well, now Jon Snow's probably going to be captive because he let her get away.
The thing is, they're setting him up to betray the Night's Watch. They keep bringing her in. She's, oh, you shouldn't do this. You should be free.
I can do this. I can do that.
Deep down in Jon Snow, he feels that way. He does feel he wants to be free. He doesn't feel he deserves. And wow, it's all starting to hit me with Jaime talking about how Ned brought back the bastard, right? You didn't love him. And deep down in Jon Snow, he feels like he didn't deserve to feel like an outcast just because his father, she should have been angry at Ned.
Yes.
Instead of being angry at the child who had no choice. But she treated him, he did have a choice. That Jon Snow did have a choice.
No, he didn't.
Deep in Jon Snow, he feels that still. I was dealt a bad hand, and now I went to the Night's Watch, and I sort of been dealt like a bad hand.
Oh yeah, the whole time.
Deep down, the things that she says, you should want to be free, you should do whatever you want to do. Jon Snow feels that. He's also like duty
he's very loyal to what
honor bound. To do. Because he is like his father,
yes.
Ned Stark. He is honor bound. And maybe he can figure out how to marry those two together to come to a better conclusion for his life. I hope for him. And Jaime, the equal, we have so much these titanic forces coming together. I feel like in the end of the season, everything has been like sort of plotting and moving in a slower fashion, but now everything's sort of coming to a head all at once. They're slamming all of the storylines, the conclusions to all those storylines at the end of the season, and it's going to be crazy.
I wonder what Cersei meant by talking to Tyrion about Joffrey and her kids, because he had quite a brother and sister confiding moment.
Yeah, my interpretation is that they were talking about Joffrey and how he isn't controllable. He's not Jaime. She wished he was. He's not even like Robert, who she didn't like. He's worse than both of them. I mean, Jaime's kind of crazy too when push comes to shove.
Oh my gosh, he strangled one.
He strangled, he killed his relative to distract the guard, then killed the guard to get out. And then got captured.
Again, maybe his whole point is to just get killed and end his misery. Because
I feel like
he
does.
He did taunt. And then Lady Stark told Brienne to the sword. So maybe that's his whole motive.
I do feel like he doesn't want to be alive anymore. He is kind of sick of living. And at least living in the captivity. But that's kind of a stretch. He's tried to escape. He can't escape. He's just being dragged around. And he can't leave. And he desperately wants to not be in that position where he's a captive anymore. So he's just, kill me. I don't even care. And then Cersei talking about Jaime. And I swear I felt like they were both talking about like killing Joffrey. Because he isn't a good king. Tyrion said, at least you have two other children who are fine. And she's like crying about that. Maybe she's just coming to the conclusion that Joffrey isn't the right person to be king.
Fit. Yeah, but she loves her kids too much.
She's just, it's my fault. This is my fault because I birthed this child with Jaime. And she's, oh, the Targaryens, you flip a coin because they were wedding brothers and sisters. One was going to turn out crazy and another was going to be fine. Another would turn out crazy. Another one would be fine. And that's why the Mad King was mad. And that's why Viserys was mad. Okay. Daenerys has a little bit of that. She has a little bit of madness.
Yeah, when she gets really upset.
Angry,
oh, yeah.
She's like, I will kill you all.
She said it several times.
Yeah.
We saw a little bit of Sansa. Not too much.
Sansa, she's ready to have kids now, and she's very nervous about that. I don't know when the Peter Baelish side of it, where they're going to flip for Marjorie, is going to take place, or if it's going to be too late. Because he's working to get her in with him as soon as possible. And if they have a child together, I don't know what's going to happen there. If it's going to be like, done, right? I don't know. That would be crazy if like they had a child together and then he goes with the other queen anyways. And Cersei almost felt she was like empathetic with.
And I've never seen her empathetic like that. Not that empathetic. Like maybe manipulative.
Because Ned Stark impressed upon them to be honorable and loyal. And so she's finally seeing what that's worth. When Joffrey's done all of this stuff to her and she's still, I am loyal to him still.
Oh,
even now.
Yeah.
And she's seeing it and she's, wow, that's what that is. To be loyal to someone, even though
they've done so much wrong.
She's taken aback and she's like kind of impressed with her ability to do that even after. That's not going to change her, I don't think. But she is coming to an understanding of it is a virtue that she has.
Switching the topic to quickly, Robb.
Yeah, he's going to do surrender.
Yes, he's bringing that lady with him.
And that's a contention point with his bannerman, like that foreign lady, which is kind of mirrored with Melisandre and Stannis.
You think so?
Because she's foreign, Melisandre's foreign witch, and Sir Davos told Stannis, you can't bring this foreign person to the battle. Your bannermen are not going to respect it.
Okay.
And then on the other side, he doesn't have anyone like telling him or that he can confide in that would say, don't bring her. It's just because he's falling in love with he's falling in love with the healer girl. And yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. We're trying.
Yes.
I don't know what to. Give us your comments.
Yes, please.
Oh, wait. I forgot to set start. Whoops. Sorry.
Oh, we forgot about Arya.
Arya.
Situation, yeah.
I think it is what it is. Yeah. Tywin knows she's lying, like I predicted. Mm-hmm. I don't know what her end goal is to kill Tywin.
I mean, when I saw it when he was talking out the window and she was eating, I saw her having a little moment where she's like, ooh, this could. And then she's kind of snapped out of it when he turned.
That would be insane.
Yeah. That would not be the correct thing to do. I know that she's...
I mean, it would be bad for her, but for the world, if Tywin was out of the way right now, what would it really do? Would the Lannister armies kind of crumble without Tywin? Maybe, which would be really good for Robb. I feel like Robb has his own serious problems right now. I was going to say before, give us your questions or more things that you want us to talk about in that episode in the comments. It's hard to right now after it's like that shocking ending, it's hard to put my thoughts together. So after a few hours, when this video comes out in a few weeks, or if you're on Patreon, a few hours, just to let us know what you want us to discuss, and we will in the comments or in the next episode.
It's so wild because Theon grew up with those boys.
I know.
And he literally flipped an insanity switch.
It's hard to believe.
Yes.
It's hard for me to believe that he did that.
Disgraceful.
It is. There's no coming back from it.
No.
There's no coming back from it. He's gone. As a character, as soon as he's captured, it doesn't matter what happens because he's gone. Oh, I forgot too.
What?
So Theon thinks his sister's coming, right? And then the other episode, one of his bannermen was saying, I'll bring my son to recapture. So Theon doesn't know that guy's coming. He's closer than his sister, I would assume.
Oh, right.
So he's in the next episode or the episode after. That guy's going to be there and taking back the 15-man operation in Winterfell. So he thinks he has time and he's playing all of these games, killing the lords. He's gonna get executed. He's gonna be killed. I would assume they'd have to kill him. Yeah, it's not gonna be good for him. Guys, give us a like, subscribe. Yes. Let us know what you think. Give us your questions so we can answer in the comments. We're like shocked, and I can't bring my thoughts together right now. If it didn't end like that, I probably would have a lot more to say, but welcome back to the map breakdown. That episode was wild. And I'm just gonna say right off the bat, I'm not gonna do a ton of map work on this episode just because not a lot has changed from our last episode. We can definitely update the death counter though. And we're gonna start off in Karth. Thank you for telling me as well. This character died in episode 6. I didn't even notice. Thank you for telling me that. The Spice King died in this episode. Both of them died. We found out, what do they call them, the monks or the warlocks? Yes, the warlocks have the dragons. He just openly admitted it to them. Strange. I don't know what the motive of that is, to just steal them and then take them back. And it seems like this guy was in on it, right? Zohan Doxos. It seems like he knew the whole time. So who killed all of her people? That's my next question. Who is the one that went through and killed her friend and like all of her guards and everything? Like, why did they need to do that if he's just gonna freely give it up? But he was also being super sus about it all, which, yeah. And I don't think we saw her either. Or maybe she's dead too and I missed that. Yeah. Another update is Jorah came back, so he's now in between her and the rest of them, which is good. She has to go to the House of the Undying to get the dragons back, though, and I don't know if she wants to do that, like, herself. Maybe she'll ask Jorah to do it. Oh, we got some updates to do on the death counter. Very close to the top. Eerie died last episode. We didn't even see it, so I'm just going to label it as important. And the shock, maybe shock of hearing about it was shocking because I didn't even see it. Jorah's back, so we'll move him up. Oh boy, we get a lot of deaths. The Silk King, that whole sequence was crazy. In the end of the day, is it that important? Because he's claimed himself as king. I still don't think. I'll put him back a little more. I'll put Renly back more. The guy who took the dragons, I'm going to move into the About to Die as well. I'm going to put Doxos in About to Die. And these guys are like teetering on the line. I don't think Daenerys is going to die. She's too important. So here's my quandary. Did Bran and Rickon Stark die? Why would Theon burn them? That's my question. And when we saw that, the most shocking deaths of this show was Bran and Rickon Stark's death. We were beset. Jon Snow was captured. Where? I don't think I have a piece for Karl Stark's son. Or what I'll do for his son's death is I'll flip it around just to show, and I'll put his death there. Alton Lannister was him telling him that story and everything that went into admiring him and telling him that story, and him after the fact being like, I'm going to kill you now. After he adored him, he loved him. He was like, it was the best thing I've ever done in my life. And then he killed him. Jaime Lannister's, he's going back into About to Die, because if he makes it out of this, I'll be surprised. And another thing with Bran is we really don't know what happened with Hodor and Asha. They didn't show their bodies, so maybe they would have been around them. Would they have killed them and just left them there? We haven't seen them dead. I'm not putting them in the death column. No one's claimed they're dead, and we haven't seen them dead. I'm going to push the Iron Islanders back towards the back a little more, just because of all of the things that I believe they're probably going to get into now that they've done this. They're not going to live through this after what they've done. Yeah, so guys, this is the end of death for this episode. Alton Lannister, Karstark's son, Eerie from the last episode, and the Silk King and the Spice King. Yeah, and Doxos is trying to gain the kingdomship of this whole place. He wiped out all of them. All of the 13, I think, are all gone. And it's just him and the warlock guy. And just so you guys know, the board is not cleaned up from last time. I didn't have a lot of time this week to do the breakdown. Expect it to be cleaned up for 8 and 9, 10 for the next few weeks. And I also, our faux battle of King's Landing, the Siege of King's Landing, as I rewrote it from episode 5 onwards, what I predict it would look like. I've written about 50% of the end of it. I'm trying to finish it. This week has just been very busy, and the whole copyright situation last week kind of killed all of the, I don't know how to explain this, like killed the momentum or the motivation for me to work on it, because it was taken down for music that I have a Creative Commons license for, and I got the license for the song and put the license in the video, and they still copyrighted it. Basically messed me over, and I spent Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday pretty much trying to figure it out, and I sent a dispute in, and they still blocked the video. So I was trying to get the old video back up, and there's 27 comments on it. Really good comments from you guys. I was kind of depressed because the only situation I can do going forwards there is to just delete the video. So I had to delete the video with all your comments on it. And that's why I asked you guys if you wanted to flip the comments over to the new video to go ahead and do that. But I remember every comment, and I'd spent a lot of time and a lot of effort to come up with this scenario, and it just took all the wind out of my sails, which is YouTube in a nutshell lately. It's not you guys at all. The only reason I'm making videos still is because of you guys. Yeah. So I appreciate you. Appreciate the patrons. I appreciate the likes. I appreciate the comments. You keep me going. I'll try to have this written up for episode 8. Pretty much if I were to basically describe how this ends, is that Tywin Lannister, he's going to send out Gregor with a host of knights to crash in to the lines of Riverland footmen that are outside the gates holding it, which is going to surprise all of the people vying for the throne. They're all in conference trying to figure out things, and they're getting ready to, if things go bad, how to combat each other. A lot of threats from Melisandre. The Starks want peace, but the Starks want Stannis, the rightful heir to Robert Baratheon, to be king. They don't want Peter Baelish. Peter Baelish has promised a lot of things to the Dornish. He's promised a lot of things to the Reach, but the Reach also has a natural hatred to Stannis Baratheon because of what Sir Loras' opinion of it is. And Marjorie Tyrell being married to Peter Baelish forces their hand in it, because they were all fighting together, and then when the Starks arrived, the Starks decided to fight for Stannis, which is the rightful heir, which I don't believe in my writing. The Starks didn't know that Peter Baelish was trying to claim the Iron Throne, which he believes is not right, which isn't right. It's something Peter Baelish wants to do. I know he wants to do it. It's just, when is he going to make his play? And in my scenario, he makes his play. And I think in my rendition, they open the gates and they send Sir Dantas Holland down with the knights, and he dies like immediately. It's kind of a representation of Joffrey, because Joffrey told him to be his representative on the field of battle, which Sir Dantas Holland is his fool. So Joffrey's being represented by a fool because he is one. I just thought that was funny. And that's the only reason why I did it, is because he's inadvertently making fun of himself by putting someone he knows he wants to kill anyways, because Sansa stopped him, and then putting him out there to die. But he knows he's incapable, but he's also representing Joffrey on the field of battle. So he's representing Joffrey and then dying. And Tywin Lannister, this charge is going to fail. Eventually, Sir Gregor Clegane is going to run into the city and his knights are going to retreat. And then Tywin Lannister is going to throw wildfire over the walls at the people in the city. A pot of wildfire is going to drop and he's going to burn to death and he's going to die, which is kind of a boring end. I had everything going up to it. I'm not George R.R. Martin. I'm also not attached to these characters like the writer, like the actual writer of the story is. And I don't know their true motivations. Like, I'm watching this for the first time, but I threw my hat in the ring of predicting this siege, like making it up as I went and just doing the best I could to like depict a real siege, like how a siege would go. I did my best in trying to do that. If anything, I tried to do that and try to show the brutality of a siege and how a siege would actually go. That ending might change with Tywin Lannister dying and stuff. I haven't written it. It's just in my mind. We'll see eventually. And I want to stop once more in the north to really look at Jon Snow and Ygritte. This is something I did not expect. It's so unexpected and refreshing. I don't know why it's refreshing, but Jon Snow has so much conflict in him. I wonder if he doesn't feel like what she's telling him is the truth. Because I know he wants in his heart to be honorable, but he also in his heart wants to be free. Not free of the Night's Watch per se, but he's been so burdened in his life that maybe there's a striking medium middle ground here where he can find something. I really need to see more of the show to see this develop, because I know in my mind what I'm trying to say, but this is definitely a turning point for him in his life, a major turning point. I don't think he's going to be the same Men of the Night's Watch. Stick to it. There's a seed being planted right now with him and this wildling woman. And maybe it's not going to grow immediately, but it's going to grow eventually. And I feel like that's what this is. It's just a thought. I got some questions for you guys. On the map, what's your favorite location from the books? The more I look at this map, guys, the more I'm getting into Game of Thrones. I don't know what it is with maps. I like maps a lot. And maps, they put you there. You can see the locations. You can see how far it is from every other location. You see where all the characters are comparably to other places. You can see how big the scale of the conflicts are. And it's definitely something that has helped me enjoy the show more. Because if you guys don't know, my first choice in college was to be a history teacher. And I was convinced into doing computer programming. And I'm terrible at programming because I'm terrible at learning languages. I couldn't do it. And instead of going to history, which is my passion, history, real or fictional, I do not care. I went to architecture, which I'm very good at math. Very good at history. Science I was terrible at. But yeah, I went for architecture, which didn't go well either. And you're not here to hear about my life. My point is, tell me about your favorite parts of the map, favorite locations that are very detailed in the books. What about those locations you like so much? Be anything. Could be the Twins, could be the Vale, places in the Vale, the Westerlands, King's Landing. On this side, any place that's detailed. Could be like the Valyria place over here that they describe. And if you guys, have you read all of the books? How many books are there? I haven't really asked those questions, and if someone has answered them in the past, I don't remember the answer. I'm terrible at remembering things. I'm terrible at remembering names, not places. I can get places pretty easily. Guys, I'm going to cut it off there. Been good getting this out to you guys, getting these breakdowns out to you guys. I'm going to try to find time to do a better one next week, for sure. Thank you for watching the map breakdown. We thank you
for watching
Immersive Reactions.
Until next time.
Hoo-wee! If you liked the video, please subscribe. It helps us get recognition on our videos, and we'll react to more in the future. Thank you.